Hello, hello, hello. It's Martin here with another property clinic and a bit of an unusual one. Yes, a property clinic special coming to you live. No, not at all live. In fact, very not live. Well, I am, but it's not live. We recorded this a while ago, but not that long ago, but a bit ago. From a hotel bedroom somewhere in Kent. In fact, somewhere near Rochester. Yes, I am here filming Homes Under the Hammer. Stop the presses. Yes, we're back filming Homes Under the Hammer. Oh my gosh, it's only been how long? March, February. Let's see, it's February, May, April. What? I'm trying to count. March, April, May, June, July, 5, 6, almost 6 months. But we're back. We are filming again. Yes, how cool is that? Wow. So I'm back on the road. Yes, in a hotel in Kent, in Rochester. Yeah, with all the kind of weird stuff you have to go into when you go into hotels now. It's like, you have to wear your mask when you kind of check in, and you have to, I don't know, the hotel the room feels like it's been fumigated and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the good news is we're back. So this is the property clinic. See, wherever I am, I still do it. So anyway, yeah, so you've got to like this video. I always get it wrong. I always point to the wrong end of the screen. So which side is it? Is it that side or is it that side? Like. I think it's that one. Like it. Yes. And subscribe. And again there, I think. Yeah. So this is my property clinic. You know that. It's all begins with Ask About It Monday. Hashtag Ask About It Monday on my Twitter, which is @TVBartyRoberts. And we give you a chance to ask questions. So why don't we actually do that? Enjoying the internal decor of my bed. My, what's that blue thing? I don't know, I think it's the bottom of that. This is for Wendy, because she wants to know what's in the background. She wanted to know about Wiley in the background. Because this is a lamp standard. And there's a picture there. That's a very sort of hotel type picture, isn't it? Yeah. And a nicely made bed. It won't look like that ever again. Do you have this thing? Right, so I can make a bed. Okay, because most people can make a bed. But I can't make a bed like other people make beds. It's like, they somehow make it seems like reminds me of the Carry On film with Matron, just getting everything so nicely in a line and all that kind of stuff. I can struggle for hours and it still looks slightly unkempt. Maybe that's a boy thing. I don't know. Anyway, let's go with some questions. Jay with a Y. Hello, Jay with a Y. Hiya. Hello. My son has been saving half for his first property. Well done, you. He now has a 10% deposit of what his income would allow him to afford to buy. Now they've put the deposits up to 20%. Why? Who has £20,000 spare? It's unfair for first-time buyers. Can you see it changing back anytime soon? Well, obviously, low deposit rates are something which are really, really important, especially for first-time buyers. Well, they're important for everybody, but especially important for first-time buyers struggling to get on the property ladder. And saving that initial deposit is always very difficult. Obviously, right now, as a result of lockdown and everything, the amount of mortgages that are out there were reduced. So there are less out there at the slightly lower deposits, because you ideally want a deposit of 15% or 10% in an ideal world. All I can say is I can't predict the future, but I would hope that we start to see a return of those, lesser deposit mortgages. And, bear in mind the interest rates are so low at the moment. Hopefully when your son gets into it, the cost and affordability will be really good for him. In the meantime, there is an option, of course, which is Help to Buy. If that's a new build property, then you can get quite a lot of help with those deposits. So it is a new build property and you will pay a premium for a new build, of course, and it might not be what your son's after, but maybe you could look into Help to Buy and see if that's any help whatsoever. Catherine, morning Martin. Hello, Catherine. I've been wanting to know this for ages, but you appeared on an old Hammer episode with a cast on your arm. Oh yeah. How did you hurt yourself? Well, I think we need to start the lift music here because this is a bit of a story. Now, I could start the story by saying I was swimming in the Great Barrier Reef and I got separated from the boat and then I turned out to be in the shark-infested area and died. Well, actually, the story is not quite so exciting. Well, it was actually quite life-threatening. It's a little bit bad, really. I was actually working on a property down in Devon, in the countryside, on August bank holiday weekend. So, wow. So like an anniversary is coming up, right? And I was stupidly using an angle grinder, a 10-inch angle grinder, which is a nasty piece of kit, which is basically a big powerful motor with a big Sharpie blade thing, which rotates around. You use it for cutting, all sorts of things. Stone, metal, whatever. Anyway, I was using it incredibly foolishly to try and make a neat job of chopping out some bricks on a fireplace. And I was making the classic classic error of holding it higher than I am. Now, you must never ever do that with any power tool. No, don't hold it high. You need to be on top of the power tool. Anyway, I was breaking the rules. It was a long time ago and I learnt my lesson. But unfortunately, the angle grinder got stuck on a brick, bounced out and being quite heavy, headed towards the ground. And in the process, it slashed through my arm. And I still have the scars. So I'm now going to show you, if you're squeamish, please look away right now. If I can hit my button, I can now show you the scar on my arm, which is there. And you can see that was my... that's a bit horrible, isn't it? Yeah. That is my scar. That's my scar from my angle grinder injury. So yes, it was a 10-hour operation to put me back together again. And I don't want to do that again. So be very careful with angle grinders. So I had to wear a cast on my arm for ages, and that was what I did. So be really careful with any power tools, but especially angle grinders. Wendy Clark asking, what do I think of I'm a Celebrity? Get me out of here being in a castle this year. Well, yeah. So in case you don't know, I'm a Celebrity. Well, you can maybe been, but in case you don't know, I'm a Celebrity. It's not going to be in Australia, where it has been for the last 19 or whatever it is years, 16, 17, I can't remember, however many years it was. It's going to be in a castle in Wales. Now, clearly, it was just proving impossible to make the show in Australia, and what you got to understand is the amount of preparation that goes into the show. I mean, months and months, in fact years, a year before the show actually transmits in October or November. They're working on the challenges and all that kind of stuff. So there's a whole team of people working from, I'm sure, months ago. So they might have been able to film it in Australia if you could get there, I guess. But clearly the logistics and everything proved too problematic. But thankfully they decided they're still going to go ahead with the show, but they'll actually hold it in a castle, a haunted castle, no less, in Wales. Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting. I mean, clearly it's going to be completely different. For a start, it's not sunny, hot Australia. It's probably a little bit cold and maybe a bit wet Wales. A haunted castle isn't quite a jungle encampment. So there's bugs. I mean, yeah, Wales has some, but not like anything like they have in Australia. So I'm sure they'll be very creative because they're a fantastic team. And obviously, it will just be completely different. I think it'll still be brilliant. I'm sure Ant and Dec will still be amazing. But I'm sure we'll all wait with bated breath to see how it goes. Dan, hi Dan. Hi Martin. Been renting my house for 4 years as I'm overseas. House needs a complete refurb with an updated kitchen, carpets, etc. Is this too much of a fuss with tenants still living there, or best to leave it until they leave? I don't think your tenants are going to be very happy about you doing a refurb and all that stuff while they're living there. Unless you can offer them some kind of deal where you reduce the rent. But if they're happy there as it is, my thoughts are, say, leave it for now, wait until they leave, do the work, and then you may reconsider what the rent you're charging is. But I think probably it's going to be too much of a disruption for them. But the main thing is to talk to them, have a great relationship if you can with your tenants, where you share your concerns, they share their concerns, and they will get in contact if you're planning something. Juffy B space Esquire. If you weren't presenting Hampton Hammer, what other property show would you fancy presenting? Well, all the property shows actually, they're all good. Kevin does an amazing job on Grand Designs, so I would love to do a Grand Designs episode. George Clark, these amazing spaces. Yeah, that's fun. I think Kirsty and Phil with their location, or my kids absolutely love, which is called Love It or List It. They seem to really love that, but they've got their great thing going on there. They've got a great relationship. So I need them. But obviously, I do love house. So else, for now, I'll stick with that. Chris asks, how do you decide which houses to feature on Homes and Glamour? Do you film the initial visit to the house after the auction or before? Well, we go to the auction first, and we then look at all the auction houses that are possibly available for us to film at. We talk to the people, ask them if they're happy for us to film there, and if they say yes, then we say great, and we go meet them. So it all starts with the auctions, and then we work it sort of backwards from there. It's going to be interesting because we are featuring a lot of online auctions now, which is interesting, but what it does mean is we're probably going to get to places we haven't been to before, because we're able to go to some of the smaller auctions, and economies of filming and everything mean that we generally have to go to the bigger auctions. But the way it's working now is we might be able to go to some of the smaller auctions, so that's going to be really great to see some unusual places on the show. Steve Jones, hi Steve. Patio or decking, which do you prefer and why? Well, there's horses for courses. Patio always looks good. Decking always looks a bit temporary, but you can create decking in an area where it'd be a real pain to put a patio. And obviously, it's a lot quicker and probably cheaper to put your decking down. Patio can look absolutely lovely, but you've got to think really carefully about drainage. Make sure you've got your slopes away from the house, and you put in things to absorb the water if there's a heavy downpour, and acro, not acro, are they what they called? Drainage ditches with acro. You know, there's a picture on there, you know, those things there, like concrete with a metal grid on the top of them. Anyway, you put them in wherever the water's going to drain to, and then make sure that goes off to a drain. Decking, the water just goes straight through. So, and also I think decking is probably in the realms of most competent DIYers. Patio is too, but easy to mess up. So, horses for courses. Ooh, here we go. Mark Dolochin. Mark Dolochin. Hello, Mark. It's my 50th birthday next month. What did you do to celebrate your 50th? I'm trying to think of ideas. Thanks, Martin. Well, here's the thing. For my 50th, I decided I'd always wanted to play in a band. And apart from when I was at school, I haven't played in a band for ages. So I teamed up. Well, I was actually having piano lessons at the time, from a great guy called Pete Gage, who does play piano still, around and about this sort of southwest area. He used to be the singer, or one of the singers in its history, of Dr. Feelgood. I only discovered that by chance some months after I've been going to him and saying, "You're really good, aren't you?" He goes, really great guy. And so he at the time taught me some piano. It was like, wow. With a view to, on my 50th, them, Pete Gage's band, presenting or filming, well, playing, that's the word, a set on like a stage which I'd built in the garden. And then he would, nobody would know about it, but halfway through the set, he would say, "Now we've got a special guest," and I would appear. And that's what we did. And I played 4 tunes with them, rhythm and bluesy kind of stuff. Yeah, it was absolutely awesome. I loved it. And everyone was quite surprised because I wasn't actually rubbish. So there you go. How's that for an idea? Renato Rossi. Hello, Renato. Well, I took your advice and have completed 2 buy-to-let properties since April. Yay, well done, Renato. Just purchasing a flip property, which means you buy it and then you sell it on having done it up. How do I go about building a property? Okay, so there's a brilliant place called the National Self-Build Centre. It's in Swindon, just on the M4, and on one of the roads into Swindon. National Self-Build Centre. If you're thinking about building something yourself, go there. They've got everything you could possibly need. All like cutaways of properties, how to build things, how to do roofs, you know, all information about land where you can get hold of it, finance, you know, eco stuff. It's really great. So yes, I would start by going to the National Self-Build Centre in Swindon. Claire, hello Claire Matthews. What are the biggest mistakes when renovating a bathroom? Interesting. So, a bathroom. Probably not giving enough space around things and actually thinking what it's going to be like when you sit on the loo or are using the basin or being in the bath. I think you need lots of space around you. So do you need an electric shower? Have you got a powerful enough water supply or a what's the word? Water supply that lasts long enough, voluminous, that'll do, water supply to provide enough people with enough showers and things like that. So you need to think about the basics before you get into the nice stuff. And also then probably not doing it white, you're going to stick with white. I know it's a bit boring, but really most people want a white bathroom suite. Do that. This is Adam. Hi Adam. Hi Martin. Just wanted to ask, how are you today? Well, that's very sweet of you. Thank you very much. I'm fine. And also, should I convert my garage into a rock and roll man cave, or should I just get a conservatory? What? Well, it seems like you'd have both, right? Why can't you have a rock and roll man cave and a conservatory? Clearly, if I had to choose one, I'd go for the rock and roll man cave. It's a piece of cake decision. He needs a conservatory, really, when you could have a man cave. Or what's the other one? A she shed. Oh, yeah, a she shed. Yeah. Awesome. So a man cave or a she shed. Awesome. Definitely do that for conservatory. James Dean. Hello, James. Is This Old House banned from the Homes and the Hammer playlist? Well, no. In fact, I haven't heard it for a while, so I shall put it to the editors and see what they say. I mean, you know, This Old House, Our House by Madness, Hammer Time by MC Hammer. You know, we could use them every episode, right? So we have to be slightly careful. But they're not banned. No. Lynn Morris, how's COVID been for you? Ugh. Well, yeah, bizarre, like it has been for everybody. A bit of a surreal dream. I think we're all going to look back on 2020 and go, what happened there? It's like, yeah, right, okay. It's been tough, you know. I mean, bits of it have been great. Seeing more of the kids, worked on my YouTube channel, you know, done lots of stuff for the charity stuff. Haven't done any filming, haven't been able to do lots of other things. So, and then just the whole, you know, like just being filming right now, you know, we came to London and, you know, it's just horrible actually, you know, with people wearing masks and it just feels a bit weird and I don't like it. So, could have been worse. I mean, we've all been through it. Everyone's got their own, you know, their own sob stories, haven't they? I've survived, which is the main thing. Dave Woodcox, hello Dave. What's the best cordless drill to buy? Well, you know, I love cordless drills. I've got hundreds. You got to go for your amperage. You want something with a good amperage and brushless motor as well. Look out for a brushless motor and high amperage. So you want 5 amps if you can, 4 amps possibly. Brushless motor. I have DeWalt. They're really good. I also have a Hitachi, which is also really good. But I tell you what. I found something in Lidl a few weeks ago, and it was like a cordless drill, and it was brushless, and it only had a 2 amp motor, 2 amp battery, you know. But you know, typical Lidl, amazing value for money. And so you know, instead of buying 1 5 amp battery, I bought 4 2 amp batteries, probably for the same amount of money. So yeah, the little one was really good. But I tell you what, it's a secret. I am thinking about bringing out my own range of drills. I've got a really funky idea for a drill. Do you think there'd be much? Yeah, do you think there'd be much interest in a range of Martin Roberts tools? I'm not sure I'm allowed to do it, but I think probably. So watch this space on that one, and then I would definitely recommend mine above all others. Mandrake Fraser, hello Mandrake, always asking me interesting questions. I've seen a few windmills and water towers on the show. Have you ever featured a lighthouse? I've always fancied a lighthouse. Oh, ever since Fraggle Rock. Do you remember Fraggle Rock? Who wouldn't want to live in a lighthouse? I mean, you'd have to have a sprocket dog. In fact, I've got a sprocket dog. I mean, Waffle, picture of Waffle, is a bit of a sprocket dog. Sprocket was the dog in Fraggle Rock, in case you don't know. Let's compare them. Waffle, Sprocket, similar? Yeah, I think so. Who wouldn't want to live in a lighthouse? I mean, you probably wouldn't want to live in a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean because it's a real pain in the neck to get to. But a lighthouse in some deserted spot, and it's just like, very romantic. Yeah, definitely with you on that one. Margot McLennan. Hello, Margot. What's your all-time favourite renovation and why? Oh, there have been so many. Funny enough, Mandrake's question about water towers. There was a water tower in Plymouth, which was Plymouth.yacht, which was amazing. People just stripped out the whole of the middle bit and put in like this wooden staircase and all the rooms off it. It was just awesomely awesome. So yeah, probably that. It was really, 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 really great. Super duper 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 duper. Neil, hello Neil. What's the best way to finance a buy-to-let? Do you really need to have 25% saved up in cash? Well, when it comes to buy-to-let, which is almost a commercial-ish or serious investor purchase, you do generally have to come up with more deposit. So yeah, you are going to need to have maybe 20% or so at least saved up. The good thing about buy-to-lets though is that, and I'm not a financial advisor and you need to go to an independent mortgage broker to get the full story on this, but often a buy-to-let mortgage is calculated on the rental income from the property, not just your own personal income. So the plus side is, in the round, they will look at the money which the property is going to generate, not necessarily what you earn. And most residential properties are based on your income and you're limited by that. So that's a good buy-to-let, but you do have to come up with slightly bigger deposit. And that's the last question. Oh my gosh. So I've enjoyed this, and make sure you like this video. I don't know where I'll be next week. Who knows? Join me in another exciting hotel bedroom somewhere in the country for more property clinics. Don't forget, it's Ask Martin Monday. It's the hashtag on my Twitter at TV Martin Roberts. Send in your questions on that, or you can ask your questions down here underneath this video as well. Make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.